We're back with Ice-T. Maya Angelou and I were saying last evening, it's a shame that so many young people think the only way out is to hit the lottery. And I know you work a lot in the neighborhood with the young people who live in areas of crack and crime and violence and fear of the police. How do you give these young people hope?
It's not easy. It's really hard. Last year I spent a long time working with the gang truce organizations. We had a truce that started in Los Angeles, right, and the kids had decided that they do not want to continue this war. And we cried out to, the country for help, and there was no aid. You have these big crime bills, but nobody was even willing to come in and help with a situation like this. They rather just build prisons and things. So it's really hard. It's really hard. I mean, the only hope I really see is not in this generation. I just think it's something that you got to teach your kids. If I teach my son, if I deprogram them from these attitudes, and if you teach your children and grandchildren the right thing, their generation might have a chance. But if, people keep teaching this hate, it's always going to be
passing the baton, as you say, of hate, of racism.
Yeah, and white people just have to come out of denial and stop saying it's over, because it's still here.
Did you ever hate white people in your life?
You become not necessarily hate them, but at times when you're growing up, you become like jealous.
Yeah.
You see them get things you don't get, and you see them left alone when you're messed with, and you say, yo, this isn't fair. And it starts making you angry, But I never allowed hate. Hate to me kind of just it's like stagnates you. It just, I always learned how to turn hate into energy. And so I was like, look, okay, I'm mad, but that means I'm going to have to work twice as hard.
Right, but when did you wrestle the demon of hatred to a draw? When did you get that out of your life? Were you a young man, teenager?
I have to deal with it every day.
Really?
Because, it's something you have to deal with every day. And I mean, I've seen myself go through situations that wouldn't have happened to, different people in America. And basically even the whole conversation, even though anybody you put on here, if you deal with somebody black and they talk real, racism is the only thing they're going to really be able to come off with, because it's something that we fight continuously.
Daily, it's pervasive, yeah.
But I've gotten beyond it. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm a black man, and I'm supposed to be twice as strong, so I'm going to have to work twice as hard. You know what I'm saying? And let's move, and let me help my brothers and sisters and anybody else out there, because if you treat me like a brother, then you my brother. That's how I feel.
We are with Sam in New York, New York, on the toll-free line. Hi, Sam. It's Tom. You're on the air.
Good evening. Good evening, Jeff.
Good evening, sir.
Good to see you both.
Thank you.
I agree with your point of view that black entertainers don't have the money because they're not where the money's being made. My question is, when will black entertainers decide to leave the white-owned companies that they are so much a part of, that they're making so much money for, and start their own movie studios, their own television networks, their own record companies, stop being part of Time Warner or Sony?
Well, I'm not part of Time Warner. I left Time Warner. I requested for a release, and I'm trying to start my own label now and work my own thing. But it's hard, you need capital, and it's not easy. And these big companies can make it hard for you. They can blackball you. They can put you in situations.
Well, what they do is they control the marketplace here, and they control placement in record stores. Right. So you may have a label, but you're on the bottom shelf, and you got your Sony and your Time Warner. They're giant companies, and they control the placement of the product.
True, but the caller is right. It's a time that we have to decide that we're going to have to start the foundation at some point. And that's why I'm trying to start my label, and I might not be able to make the money, that the big companies can, but we'll crawl first. And, the power, the only way you're ever going to get the power is if you build it from the bottom up. They can't give it to you on the top, because they can take that right back.
And you also have to own it.
Yeah.
One of the great mistakes I've made in my life as a broadcaster is I've never owned anything I've done. Somebody else has. Yeah. And it's too late for me to go back and try and change that. But you give away an awful lot when you give away. You have no power. You have a big head, but no cattle.
Well, it's something, and especially with films and records and things like that, it's something that we as minorities, so-called minorities, have to decide that it's time to do, because 30 years ago we were still on the back of the bus. It's not like we've been having our so-called freedom that long.
Sam, I'm glad you called. Thanks for joining the program.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you both.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. I've got a minute left here. We enjoyed visiting with you and Little Ice in the green room and Mrs. Huffington. And when do you think the the love will blossom between these two?
I don't know. Ice is a player. He got a lot of girls after him and stuff. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's gonna be after women with money or whatever. But I don't know. I'm just, you know, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. Hopefully, I guide him in the right direction.
How has he changed you? How has Little Ice changed you, do you think?
Well, I think kids are the reason. You know, that's the only thing you're ever going to do here that means anything. You got TV shows, cars, house, whatever, but the only
Means nothing.
Only miracle you ever do is create a kid. So yeah, I did something while I was here. You know, that's all. And yo, even though you don't want to, can I plug some stuff?
You can't because I'm out of time. but I'll bring you back, I swear. And I really thank you for your friendship and your kindness, and you'll be welcome here anytime. Thanks, Ice.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Peace.
Okay. We'll be back to wrap it up for Wednesday night and maybe plug a thing or two for Ice after these messages.